Hi, and welcome back to Elevate with Elisheva. On today's episode, we will be talking a bit about Rosh Chodesh Nissan, this energy that is available to us this month, and the challenges that come with it as well. And I will also be sharing some tools to help you navigate this month so you can live it to the fullest potential. Rosh Chodesh Nissan is an extremely powerful month. In the previous month in Pisces, it was as if our soul was resting. For the past 2 months, we had 2 Chodesh Adar. And in that time, we were cultivating joy from within. And if you want to learn more about Adar, then you can look back in my previous episodes and so just learn about this energy. And today we will be focusing on Nissan. And this is a really great time because it is the revival. This is the time of rebirthing, of rejuvenating, of coming back to life. In the winter months, we were hibernating, we were closed in, we were really focused on our inner world. And now that we enter Nissan, we are coming back as if we went to sleep and now we are returning back to life. And this is tremendous energy. Everyone is excited. There is heat. It was super cold here in Israel for the last couple of months. So here alone, we even see the effects of the heat with the recent news and things that are going on in Israel. And it is really powerful how much, the more that you align yourself with the energy of the month, you are able to see the transitions. In the beginning, they might feel a bit subtle, but really they are so powerful. And the more you are fine-tuning yourself, then you can prepare for the changes that are happening. As much as we can at the end of the day, changes sometimes just happen. But either way, the more that we learn about the energy of the month, the zodiac sign that relates to it, we are able to navigate it and hopefully go above nature. In Judaism, we believe that we go above the stars, that what is written in the stars does not constitute our fate at all. We have the ability to go above that and change what is written. And that really makes you and I the creator of our world, of our destiny, of our reality, of our life. And this is a really great reminder as we are going into now the holiday of Pesach, which really resembles and connects to slavery. And this is a holiday that's been passed down for centuries. Passing around this information is really powerful in knowing that we can change the outcome. And this is really what we learned in Adar as well, not to be a circumstance of of the events that are happening around us. So this podcast episode and pretty much all of them, they basically talk about the energy of the month and how to elevate it and how to connect to yourself and offering healing tools along the way. So stay tuned and we will be learning about that in this episode. And as I mentioned before, we are now transitioning into the spring time. And it is a really powerful time because we start hearing the birds, we start feeling the heat on our skin. But not only do we have the physical heat from the nature, we also have that heat boiling within ourselves. This sign, the sign of Nissan, the zodiac sign that is Aries. And Aries is like a child. It is the child of the zodiac sign. Before in Pisces, Pisces is the adult, the elder of the zodiac sign. It's the last sign in the zodiac. And now, even in the Hebrew calendar, Nissan is the first month of the Hebrew calendar. And this makes Nissan the head of all the months. As in Tishrei is the head of the head of the year, Nissan is the head of all the months. It's the first month in the Hebrew calendar, and the first 12 days of Nissan is as pretty much connect to the first 12 months of the year. So the first 2 weeks or so in Nissan are really important in overcoming and cultivating energy for us to transcend, to level up, and really be reborn, because we don't want to be held back from the things that we know we can achieve. And in the story of Pesach, being a slave really speaks to us today as well. Today, we still can be a slave to our job, to our phone, to toxic relationships, to bad habits, to fears, desires, urges, and the list goes on and on. What we can still be a slave to in today's world. We still think that slavery was something from centuries ago, but actually there is a modern day slavery, and we are not even aware of that, just how much you are giving to something else that is not helping you in your growth, that is preventing you from being your best, and you're still there. You're a slave to that. So in these first 2 weeks of Nissan, we are challenged to step out of that survival and embrace our own becoming. And this is a lot of work. It's not easy to be reborn. It's painful in the beginning. I'm sure every mother would know, because there's pain and contractions, and it's scary. It's dark, but this is where we begin to level up. And this really brings me into the sign of Aries, where, like I said previously, that Aries is the child of the zodiac. It is the first sign of the zodiac. So the energy right now is very childlike, but imagine a child that is having a lot of behavioral problems. They're having a breakdown. They're selfish children, they're really only thinking about themselves mainly. And it takes a lot to teach a child to share, to be patient, to acknowledge other people, that the world doesn't only revolve around them. So this is pretty much the energy. Think of just like a 2-year-old child having a fit. So this is basically the energy of Nissan. But we have polar energies as well. As much as it is a very intense energy for our behavior, and there's going to be a lot of hot tempers going on, there's also a very beautiful creativity that's surfacing, that we feel alive again, and we feel happy and excited to do these things. So there will be polar energies surfacing, and according to Kabbalah, everyone is influenced by this energy, whether they are aware of it or not, and some are influenced by it more, especially those that are born under the sign of Aries. They will be feeling this change, and they will be feeling a lot of hot and a lot of heat, So yeah, Aries is upon us, and there's pretty cool things that we can learn when we look at the Hebrew word of Aries, which is taleh. Taleh, now we're going to go speaking about the secrets that Kabbalah teaches us. And when we learn the secrets of Kabbalah and how to navigate our month, it actually gives us a roadmap. And this roadmap allows us to explore the potentials of this month. And when you know this information, you can navigate it and overcome the challenges as well. And the gematria of Taleh is Dam, which is 44. And we really see that the heat, our blood rises. Our blood rises when we are angry, when we're upset. We feel it in our face. We become flush. So there will be a lot of heat surfacing, and it's important to be aware of this because of the challenges that you can be facing. If you can recognize, like, okay, I can either choose to get upset right now, or I can see past this and just stay focused. And I know this is going to be hard because we are emotional human beings as well. And we don't want to always fall into the heat of the moment. We want to see beyond that and recognize that this is the moment of growth, that we can choose, okay, this is really, really hard for me not to get upset of this. If you didn't sleep well, the dog was barking all night, or someone called you in the middle of the night, and the next day you're really tired, recognize that, identify that, and either take the time to take a nap, go to sleep, recover. This is the energy. We want to recover. We want to rejoice. We want to revive ourselves, but we also don't want to fall into the trap of being angry this month. The anger is really rising, and it's causing a lot of people to be nervous, to be scared, and once when we can recognize that, you can also shift that and go above that energy. And that is really the essence, that we can not be a slave to our emotions as well, that we can go above them, and rather than allowing them to control us, we can control them. And if it's hard for you, then just take a step back and sit with the feelings, sit with the emotions, and pause. It's really important to pause, allow yourself to take a breath, and just restart. It's okay. Okay. And being a slave to the habits, to the fears, to the doubts is us being in our own way. There are many times where I'm finding myself being afraid to take the next step in my business or my relationship, or even with myself, that I know that will get me so far. And I'm noticing that I am the one who's standing in my own way. My thoughts are giving me many reasons why not to start, why I'll fail. Even before I tried, I already believe that I'm going to fail and not succeed because of the thoughts because of the story that I'm telling myself. And the moment when I notice this, I can choose. Am I going to continue to give power to these thoughts that are holding me back? Or am I going to overcome them? And currently where I'm at, it's definitely a process, but every day I am definitely choosing which thoughts to give my energy to, and it's allowing me to even be here right now in this moment, and to continue to try every day to not be in my own way, but rather to step into my power and own my creativity. And so in this month of Nissan, notice when you are also standing in your own way from living that life, that incredible life that you deserve, that it is your birthright to have that incredible life, whatever it is that you imagine, and it is possible. But a lot of times we blame it on the circumstance. We're blaming other people, and taking radical accountability and responsibility is also noticing that, hey, you can be the source of why you are not succeeding, and really ask yourself if you are really trying with all of your effort to have that life. It's going to take energy. It's going to take investment. And that investment, more than just money, it's going to take emotional and mental, spiritual and physical investment to to have and completely live the life that you imagine for yourself. So this is a part of the inner and external war that each person has within themselves. It's a duality. And the planet of Nissan, according to Sefer Yetzirah, this is a book in English. It translates to the Book of Formation that was authored by Avraham Avinu. And this book really gives the explanation of how the world was created. And it shares that each Hebrew letter has a frequency, and the frequency is what builds the world. It's the DNA of the soul, the DNA of the world. And in this month, there is also a planet that rules the month. So not only is there a zodiac sign, but there's also a planet. And through this planet emanates the energy of God. So it's not the planet, but it's actually through the planet we have the energy of God that is trickling it down onto our earth. And the planet that connects to Nissan is Mars. And anytime that, think back into your life and reflect for a moment, anytime there's spring, there is either a war, like here in Israel, there's already been a wave of terror occurring, and Mars is the planet of war, of blood. And as I mentioned earlier, that Taleh, the sign of Aries, the gematria of it is 44, and so is the word dam, blood. So we are all facing that inner war within ourselves to maybe even wake up earlier, be in a positive mood, even when it is difficult. So Nissan is giving us this opportunity to break through that war, be a warrior, but liberate yourself. That is really when that liberation comes, and you're liberating yourself from being a slave to these habits, to emotions, to fears, to toxic thoughts that actually only sabotage you, and they're not going to take you further. So in order to really have this opportunity to go above nature, it's by learning of this energy of the month. So this is exactly what you're doing right now. And another really cool fact, according to Kabbalah, of how to achieve a miracle, it's one of the ways, and that's going above nature. When you're finding yourself during the month of Nisan, between, doing something, when you're really going to catch yourself from reacting to a situation or a person, and you're going to pause and you're going to ask yourself, am I going to choose to react with hot temper, or am I going to pause, breathe, and just either walk away, notice that the circumstance or the person before you is having a lot of is in an emotional reaction right now? Or will you just choose to have compassion on what's before you? And that's really a question that I'm asking myself since the start of Nissan, is to either respond to the situation with the matching energy of fear, anger, doubt, or am I going to respond with love and compassion? And this is really hard. It's not easy. No one said this was going to be easy. But when you choose, because there's always a choice, there's always going to be a parallel to something, and that's when you are becoming to write the fabric of your reality, when you're making a choice, a conscious choice to choose either with anger or compassion, and try it, really consciously make a choice to choose being compassionate on the person before you and even on yourself this month. Rather than falling into the anger, choose love, choose the light, pause, take a breath, and notice that this is just a challenge for you to make a different choice and grow from that moment. And with this rebirthing, this is a really important note that I want to talk with you about, because not everyone is familiar with this term to rebirth or come back to life, basically. So when we rebirth, it's this really strong feeling of returning back to life. And the whole idea of rebirthing is to come back to life better than when you started the process of rebirthing. And the process of rebirthing is as if you're dying, as if you're going through a shever, a breakdown, and everything is chaotic. But luckily, spirituality and Kabbalah gives us the tools to turn chaos into order. And when we can notice that the breakdown is the moments before the rebirth, we can actually flourish. So you want to return back to a better state than what you actually started in the beginning. And in Pesach, in these 2 weeks before Pesach, we are going through this journey of returning back to self from the winter months, but coming back to life, rebirthing in a better state. And this also means mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, you are in a new state of being. You are on a higher level of consciousness, and you begin to lead a new way of life. And this connects you to the natural process of nature, how, there's new life in the air, and you can be that new life. You can be that new life where you are owning your life, taking radical responsibility and liberating yourself from being a slave to your inner to the inner war that you have of, anger versus being compassionate, as an example. So when you notice that you are rebirthing, allow yourself to level up. If something doesn't resonate with you, then let it go. There's no room to hold on to things that are only holding you back from being your best. So why not create space? Maybe in the beginning right now, people are even cleaning their homes in preparation for Pesach, and they're creating space for new dishes, new clothes, all these things that they're welcoming, because it's a new energy, and we want to shake off the winter dust, and everything that happened before up until now no longer exists. So all that stress, all the worries, all the things that you were not able to do up until now no longer exists, and you're having a restart, you're having a rebirth. So if there are still ideas that you haven't yet completed, fine, and you still feel connected to it, then this is your chance to gather this energy, bring it into a vessel, into a kli, so that you can navigate this month and birth and bring to life creativity and ideas and a masterpiece that you know that you can do. So allow yourself to be creative this month. Channel this intense energy into something great, rather than focusing on the anger or the small details that can really hold you back. Channel the energy and allow yourself to get creative. That's the other side, the polar side of all this anger, is excitement. And you can really create so much. The world needs more authentic people, and people creating things from a place of love and authenticity. So really put up a spiritual fight between the negative fire and ignite the fire of positivity, of love, of enthusiasm. And any time that you're feeling like there's so much stress going on, channel that, dance it out. These are really great tools that you can use at any moment. And notice, the most important thing is to notice and identify, and having self-awareness when you are not feeling your best and you just need a moment. So to pause and uplift yourself. And once you do this, your brain will secrete serotonin, dopamine, and you'll start to feel better. And we really learned this in Adar when we already started to practice to cultivate joy, even when things are not going the way you planned. So allow that idea to continue to flow with you during Nissan. And even in the word Nissan, we learn really powerful secrets. Like Nas is Hebrew to flee or to escape. And Nissan allows us to escape from a place to a higher place within ourselves. And this allows us to start over and to liberate ourselves from the past that can chain you and hold you down. And we want to really overcome, pass through this, and jump and gain a place where we can leap into that feels aligned with you. And so any conflict that you find yourself facing this month, just to summarize everything, wherever you find yourself having a conflict this month, recognize what you can control, and being aware of the forces of energy that is in Nissan. Like I said, it's anger versus compassion and softness. So these are challenges that we can transform from and really, really grow. Remember, at the end of the day, we are human and there will be mistakes. And to recognize that when you are making a mistake, as I previously mentioned, Aries is the child of the zodiac, so it will be hard to notice the other person and to acknowledge the emotions and feelings of the other. So really transform the selfishness into selflessness, where you are shifting from being the center of the universe into being unified in unity with the other person. And there's a lot of acting with impulsive behavior. So think before you act, pause, remember to connect with the Creator, with God, and speak out loud and ask God to where you need to focus your energy. We don't always know. And we are always co-creating with the universe, with God. So if you are struggling with something, know that God is here to connect with and to talk with. So you are not alone in this process. And if you find yourself making mistakes, a lot of times kids have a hard time learning from their mistakes. So notice when you are making a mistake and try to foresee the future, try to predict maybe some struggles that you've gone through and learn from the past. Always apply learning, and every day, the greatest tzaddikim and tzaddikot always learn from any person. It doesn't matter who they are. They can always learn from them. So learn whatever you can every day from the world around you. And rather than being impulsive, maybe try having delayed gratification and sticking to your goals. Like, listen to the messages, listen to the people around you, and allow the guidance from the world, from God really, to navigate you this month. And notice and remember that this is a new life cycle. You are coming back to life, and this process can be messy, it can be bloody, it can be difficult and painful, but it is also very beautiful. And you have this power to truly navigate this month and go beyond and above this energy and use it in a way that you can grow and benefit from this creativity. So just to end it here, we can allow ourselves to be reborn this month, shift and transition to the rebirthing process and coming back to life. Really connect to yourself and the world around you, and live with tons and tons of awareness this month. The awareness is the major tool in navigating this month and going beyond and above. So until next time, I'm wishing you a Chodesh Tov, and may you be blessed with tons and tons of energy to cultivate and be in this creative process, because whatever you are doing in now and whatever you're putting your energy towards now will be flourishing in the summer months. So nourish and put in energy and liberate yourself from those limiting beliefs that are holding you back from being your best. This is your moment to shine, to liberate yourself and step into your power. So yes, thank you for joining Elevate with Elisheva, and feel free to watch this podcast episode live on YouTube, and just type in Elevate with Elisheva, and you can find me on Instagram at elisheva.lavi. And if you have any message for me or you want to connect, then feel free to send me a message. I would love to hear from you. And please make sure to give this a video. Please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe, and share this information with anyone that you know that can benefit from learning about the energy of the month and how to make it practical and to use it for your own personal development. So have a good day, Chodesh Tov, and see you next week.